And we're live with Hal Gill and Harrowings, and we've just invited the everyday junglist to join us. But I figured I'd go live first. And if he joins us, great. If he doesn't, oh well. I want to remind him that it's sent. He's texting me. It is sent. And should be there. Let me know. Okay, so we got Dorothy Rowan and Scott McLeod already here. That's wonderful. Glad to have you. The Everyday Junglist and I are going to go and talk a little bit about what was on his mind yesterday, and I forgot what it was, so it'll come up, I'm sure. Yeah, his app is not working to our advantage. Let me know if you need to resend. If you need it resent. All right. So the app sometimes does give us a little trouble, and I'm doing it on the computer, so I'm hoping that'll work. And sometimes, it's actually gone so people can't hear me. Can everyone hear me? I hope that I'm coming through loud and clear. And if you just sort of give me a high sign in the chat or whatever that you can hear me, that'd be wonderful. Either Dorothy or Scott. My mind has been on many different fronts. I've been talking about restacking versus liking. I know a lot of people use Substack notes very much like a Facebook feed and just like things. And that doesn't really do a whole lot. It may affect the algorithm a little bit, but a restack really does something because it puts it on your feed for your people to see, and that might expand a creator's radius. I put that out there today, and at least one person who has been following me, and I'd never really noticed before, really lit me up for saying that, having temerity to ask that people restack versus like, and don't like because, it does very little to nothing. It's kind of a left-handed thing, right? It's on the left-hand side, the like is. And then you go one over, and there's an opportunity to comment on something that someone's posted. And then the app won't let him do it. That's a shame. Give me another minute. I'll give him another minute. So that's the Everyday Junglist trying to join. I'm responding. Standing by. Direct me as necessary. And he's probably driving. That's quite often the case. What am I thinking about? Well, to get back to my little, thing today, it is a lot about how we can support each other as Facebook, Substack writers and creators. And I think restacking, commenting substantively to the comment, not just throwing a heart at it, can be very, very helpful. And the fact that some people react badly to that suggestion, I don't know what to do to help them. It seems to me that that's kind of weird. My background, it's kind of jumbly. I notice I've hung up a tie-dye thing I got from the Hate Street free clinic. I think this was to be benefiting in the Hate Street free clinic in San Francisco. It was put up by one of the people who were supporting that when Nancy Pelosi and some other people were getting online in a thing with Jan Benner, I think his name is, who was the editor of Rolling Stone and some others. And it was one of those virtual things we did during the pandemic. So I just hung it up over here. I didn't really know what to do with it once I got it. And it's nice. I kind of like it. It's got a nice pattern, and it makes me happy with that sort of bird-like, sunny kind of glow coming out of the middle. What else can I talk about? Is just accepted through the website, but it's locking up. Well, I'm going to cancel I'll cancel the invite and resend, and maybe we'll get him online because I think it'd be more interesting once we have him here, for one thing, because he had something he wanted to talk about, and I've forgotten what it was. So I wonder if you could join the chat. Maybe you could just join the chat. Can you just join the chat as as a viewer. Look me up. So I'll cancel it and resend it. Invite guests. Everyday Junglist. Boom. So we've invited him again. I see we got Catherine joined, and you are a person who subscribes to different people apparently, and Dorothy Rowan does as well, and Scott McLeod has joined. I don't know that you are subscribing to people, but it would have a little diamond if you did. I think supporting each other on Substack by subscribing, in addition to following, in addition to just tuning in, is really important. Substack is a platform that's very different from Facebook or other social media platforms. It is a media outlet of sorts. It can be for serious journalism. The kind of journalism I do is very gonzo. I go out on the streets of DC and point my camera outward and start commenting on whatever I'm seeing. What I'm generally seeing is people coming and going, not really any details to speak of about what's happening, but who, what, when, and where is out there to be seen. And then there's this idea that what we're doing is we're weaving history. Every person is involved in this. We are all responsible for the world we are co-creating. And so I resent an invite. Okay, I'll try again one more time. He's just getting an error now, so I'm not sure why that is. Maybe I could suggest something else. Cancel the invite, and I'll re-invite him. Boop. Send one invite. Okay, and that just did something else. There I am again. Third invite may be the charm. So type that to him. And again, I could try to get back on track with what I was talking about. Well, in general, I think we are co-creating the world we live in. There are fires right now in Canada that are sending down smoke into our area. Clearly, whatever they're doing in Canada to work on their forests isn't, the nature is taking its course. Really, lightning strikes are happening, and it's dry and sets off fire and gets out of control. Very hard to get up to the boreal forest up there. I'm sure there are a lot of areas without roads. Hey,
man.
We're talking about Canada, and now we'll talk about Tijuana and the beach.
What do you say, Kent? What do you say?
I was talking about Canada and the wildfire.
Oh, Canada. Okay, gotcha.
In D.C. from the wildfire there today, and we were see the sun in the sky. Lovely.
Yes, you see it. That's my dog. I'm heading back.
Yeah.
Yes, good memory.
Yeah.
You know my dog now. Say hi to Hal, guys. Luna. Yes, she's the prison. Yes. So,
something on your mind you want to
say? This boat here. Let me show you something. You see the boat? Yeah, it's not supposed to be on the beach, obviously. As you might guess. Not until we where a boat belongs. It washed up there about 3 months ago. Actually, my wife saw the people in it. Actually, yeah, exactly. Nobody wants to touch it. It's been there for 3 months now.
Yep.
So I don't think it's going anywhere. Apologies if it's loud, man. It is kind of a little bit windy down here.
Yeah, it's a little windy. I think Substack is going to clean up the sound for us, so I'm going to stop shouting.
Well, I got to hear you.
You wanted to talk about something yesterday.
It's kind of a nerdy topic, I guess. It's like a writing topic specifically related to this whole public idea of, which I did not realize this when I started publishing, 10 years ago, and up until now, that you can't, once you publish something, whether it be, and you publish it for free, it doesn't matter if it's behind a paywall or not, 95% of the paying opportunities then for that material, you're locked out of, because they will not publish reprint, what they call reprints. And so the reasoning for this goes way back to pre-internet era, and it makes basically almost no sense today. There's some logic to it around Google. You lose a little bit of search engine optimization, but basically it's bullshit. And it really pisses me off because I've got, as you know, a huge archive of material, 2,000 pieces of content deep at least, and it's all basically worthless right now. And not not worthless, but close to worthless because I cannot monetize it. And I see so many opportunities now that I started looking for, essays I've written in the past or whatever that would fit perfectly if I could just, polish them up a little bit and send them in. But you cannot do that. And they check. Apparently they're pretty zealous about checking too. And you can't even delete them because they'll use the Wayback Machine or whatever to look into the past even, see if they can find previous instances of this being published. So it's just really pissed me off because now that I'm actually seriously trying to make some money off my writing, I found out basically I can't. Not that I can't, but that all the work I did in the past is basically for naught. I mean, it's not for naught, obviously, but in terms of making money off it, it basically is. And it's just really frustrating to me, and really frustrating. So I'm on a rampage about it. I'm on a crusade.
All right. Well, you've also frozen just now, which gives me an opportunity to retort a bit. I think that, a lot of the writing I'm doing right now, I'm putting behind a paywall, in terms of my father's writing, and I'm hoping that people will subscribe here, which will help to pay for it. But of course, they don't for the most part. And I can understand that. It's kind of a niche kind of thing. And most of the people who'd be interested in this niche probably don't find me here. So the findability we have is difficult. We're looking at a bit of the Pacific Ocean, by the way, in the other panel from the Everyday Junglist. He has for now frozen. And we did talk a little bit about his writing, and he's got a trove of stuff in his archives, wants to be able to monetize it, but can't because of a particular reason and the laws and such, I suppose. And yeah, so I expect he means really publishing in book form and with publishers. But if it's been published before in some other context, there's probably a law against or something that blocks it, publishers from being able to republish it. And I think that's what he's on a rant about. It's something to consider as we are all creatives trying to put out our writing to other people. I'm going to go ahead and re-invite him now that he's sort of dropped off again, and we'll try that. And fourth invite sent. We try these impromptu things from time to time, and he gets out on the beach and walks the dogs, and it tends to work out pretty well. And it's kind of ramshackle. I enjoy very much the repartee we have because he's a very interesting character working on phages as a focus, which are viral kind of things that attack bacteria. And we talk a lot about, the types of things that cohabitate with us. Right now, there's a parasite out there that's causing a lot of diarrhea. It's out in Michigan and primarily and spreading 32 states now, as I understand it. And a lot of us are concerned about eating unwashed produce or fresh fruit that may be purchased if we didn't grow it ourselves and wash it very thoroughly. And even if you wash it, apparently that's not enough. You're going to probably need to cook it at temperatures above 160 degrees Fahrenheit, as I understand it. So we're waiting for the Everyday Junglist to rejoin if he can. I'll send him a message, maybe in the chat. There's a message at Everyday Junglist. New invite sent. So I got Cat Rainbows saying hello. Thank you for saying something. And all the rest of you are welcome to contribute as well. If you want to come on and go live with me in Everyday Junglist pace, we can do that. We can add up to 3 in these chats, I believe. Bruno Batati has done some conversations with the Everyday Junglist lately, and those have been really good. I highly recommend his blog. Everyday Nonsense is one thing he calls it. And I think we have Jenny and the Jets has just joined. Welcome. And Harrowings is just scratching the surface of things. We don't go very deep sometimes. We skim along the surface, but we can occasionally dive right into something a little more heavy. And here we go again. Hey. There he is again.
Sorry.
Got back.
Cut off mid-rant.
I think it was a pretty good rant.
I was just getting warming up.
We're talking about formal publishing, not being able to republish things that have been published.
Yes, correct. And not a law. This is no law. This is a policy. Publishers have agreed to, sort of, I guess they've agreed to. in the secret publisher world, I guess. I don't know exactly, but but yeah, it's essentially a policy. It's called first right or whatever. I don't. It's got a name, but
Yeah,
stupid.
actually, my father had that, which he could republish anything he had published from the Colonial Williamsburg Journal.
Yeah,
That would got
it's location.
removed.
It's really location specific, right? Not every publication that publishes that pays for content has this policy, but 90% do, based on my
Oh,
look at the market.
yep,
And the ones that don't have it, they pay less for stuff that's reprinted, republished.
yep, makes sense.
It makes sense. No, it does not make sense. Don't say that, Hal. It does not make sense. It makes sense if you're a well-known person. If you're an author that has thousands of views for everything they write. Someone like me who gets 3 views per writing, and I've got 2,000 pieces of content that no one's fucking seen, and no one's ever going to see now because no one will pay for it because to a publication that would have some circulation. It's just like completely not worthless, but it's just sitting there, and it really makes me angry
And you
because
don't want to give
what
it
it's doing.
away.
What I already have, and what it's doing to me is making me not want to publish anymore, which I'm not. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've not published any articles on Substack in at least
Oh,
3 days.
really?
3 days, and
Oh,
typically I'm
wow.
publishing, once or twice a day. And it's because now I'm all worried about it. I'm like, well, what if I want to sell this later or try to? So it's
Oh, I
like,
gotta
and
try
it's
to sell this.
and so it really
Basically,
sucks.
a few of your names going
Yeah.
back and forth now. It's kind of hard, distracting. It's funny.
Sorry, I'm walking. I'm walking, dragging a big heavy sled behind me. You can
We're not
see.
trying to do cinematography. Yeah.
No,
We got some hearts flying up there. That's great. Anyway, I'd enjoy it however you do it. I think you froze again. I can see Inky up there. Inky is named after a Sumerian god. We may get him back. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to do a new invite. But what we were talking about is publishing. I was thinking about self-publishing. I just ran across a quotation in an interview with Louis Buddy Norden, who was my old friend in Pittsburgh, creative writing professor and a novelist. And he was talking to Shelby Foote one time, and Shelby Foote was telling him, Shelby Foote was a historian of the Civil War in particular. You may remember him from Ken Burns' The Civil War from some years back. In any case, even if you don't, Shelby Foote was telling Buddy Norden about how he knew a guy who self-published a book and sold them out of the back of his station wagon and sold like 10,000 copies, which is a lot for a self-published book. And he said it was a terrible book. But if you get a hold of a copy that isn't signed, it's worth a lot of money. Signed copies are worthless. Anyway, so I like that story a lot. I actually have a link to it on Buddy Norden's name in my article today, which I put up on Substack. And yeah, I don't know if I have it available right now or not. Oh, yeah, there it is. So this is called The Powerlessness of Resentment. And I'm going to just throw it into our little conversation here as I'm live. And if you want to go and get it, you can. There it is in the chat. So the idea being that I ended up commenting on Buddy somehow or another in the course of my conversation about resentment. This idea that Nietzsche had about how we are powerless over other people. I'm going to try to invite the Everyday Junglist again, send the fifth invite, and let him know. And the idea is if you spend your time and effort really trying to change somebody else and their impact on you, you're really barking up the wrong tree in a lot of ways. And you leave yourself kind of in their power, so to speak, as long as you're holding on to a feeling about them, something that you're refeeling over and over again. It can really set a tone for how you conduct yourself in life. I've rid myself of most of my feelings about other people that are negative or wanting to change anybody or make them anything other than what they are. And I call it the Mr. Rogers method. I like you just the way you are. I'm accepting of people just the way they are, and I can be wrong. And when I am wrong, I let people do as they'll do. And then sometimes I'll get my knickers in a twist and I'll react badly. I did that earlier today, as I said, because I put out this thing about how restacking is a better thing to do than liking. Because for one thing, it amplifies the signal of the creator over your own network. You take somebody else's thing, you restack it, it shows up in your feed, and your network will be able to see it better than they will be able to if you just like it. So I'm trying to advocate that people not like things, but rather restack them. And a lot of us don't understand what that does, right? A lot of us don't understand how that does help the creator be heard and seen through the noise that's there in cyberspace. I'm an old fifer. Fifing and drumming is near and dear to my heart. I was playing this one in the DC Pride Parade recently. I'm an ally of those folks who are identifying as LGBTQA, whatever, I forget. There's a lot of different letters these days, and plus as well. Anyway, in doing that, what I'm doing is I'm sending out a signal through this 6-hole pipe. I'm starting to talk about pricing,
Hey,
amplifying signals through the noise, like publication. So, back to it.
hey, I'm back.
Good to have you. So, we get off the fifing. What you're doing. I was talking about restacking versus liking and how we can help other voices on Substack be heard. And we can also pay for subscriptions revenue in for everyday nonsense,
Luna.
right? Hi, Luna. Hi,
Sorry,
Inky.
she's
There's
for
Inky.
being bad. He's right there.
Yeah,
I'm walking up a steep hill here with this dragging this big sled behind me, so it's not super easy to talk and do it at the same time.
So, what's on your mind that you wanted to continue on now?
Well, why don't we wait till I get to the top of the hill? Why don't you keep talking about fifing or something?
Well, I was talking about
Luna.
signals through the noise. I did a thing the other day. I don't know if you saw it. It's called the sound of marching feet. And the idea is that fifing and drumming is really all about transmitting signals through the noise of a battlefield. And what I'm trying to do here is send your signal through the noise of cyberspace and give you a little amplification through my network. And that'll be including Libra who's joined and said I sound so unintentional. Well, spelling is important, but at the same time, if I can understand it, and then I see some other letters flying through and a question mark. I'm not sure what the question mark is. But Joshua Lee Downs is joined. We've had some others join. I've been talking about the power of resentment and the Nietzschean sense of resentment, ressentiment, I think is the French pronunciation. And the idea of refeeling things over and over again, particularly negative feelings, how they can sort of make it alive, make us who we are, and be freed of that by adopting what I call the Mr. Rogers, where I like you just the way you are. And if I extend that to everybody, bonus. I don't. Particularly found it difficult to understand why I was saying, don't like my post without restacking it also. Because I think that does something, as opposed to just liking is like, just so what, it doesn't really do much. And I think this platform can be used more effectively. Go ahead.
Sorry, I made it to the top of the hill.
Great.
Not to cut you off. Not to cut you off, but yeah.
Take it.
Thanks. So yeah, I'm done on the topic. I think I'm done on the topic of the republishing thing. But for people who aren't aware of it, I think I want to talk about it more because I'm going to as soon as I have written an article about it, and I'm trying to shop it around. If nobody takes it, which they probably won't, I'm going to publish it on Substack. But I think it's something I think people need to know if they ever thinking about trying to make money off the writing outside of Substack.
Yep.
Which obviously, if you can get subscribers, great. Which you're probably not going to get them. At least I can't. I don't know how to do it clearly. So I fail at that. I fail at that over and over again. Also on Medium, I fail at that. Also on Vocal, I fail at that. So I fail at that consistently for 10 years. So that's not working for me. So I'm going to try. So finally, I'm going to do something different for once.
Tell me about your interviews with Bruno Battati. Those were interesting.
Yeah, well, it's only one so far, and he's an interesting guy, man. Yeah, he's an interesting guy, and the way we met him was he just tuned into your show actually one day.
Yeah, when I was going to the airport for no good reason.
Yeah. And so he's from Italy, and so I followed up with him afterwards. They're like, "Oh, Italy! I'm trying to get my citizenship, my Italian citizenship." I thought, I'll see what's going on with him. And I started talking to the guy and found out, geez, he's like a sort of famous guy in Chile, at least. He was a producer who was sort of like kind of brought their film industry sort of into, I don't know, into prominence, if you will, and then sort of
Well,
left and went back to Italy and where he's from, and he's been basically a hermit for 4 years. Nobody, I don't know how many people know where he actually is or what he's doing, but he sort of dropped out of the limelight. I guess he needs some time off, and so now he's trying. I think he wants to get back. I think he wants to get back in it, but he's not sure, what exactly he wants to do. And the guy's like just multi-talented. He's got not only is he a producer, I mean, he's a really good writer. He's a genius. The guy's really smart. The guy is really smart, but he's also out of money. He tells me, and because making movies in Chile is not like making movies in Hollywood as far as the money. It's
right.
it's okay, but it's not.
We froze again. I think I lost him. But Bruno Batati is who we're talking about. And he did tune in to this little thing I was doing. I was riding the metro and I went live with Dan, who's the everyday junglist. And we just started talking, right? He started asking questions. He's like, why do you walk around DC just filming stuff? And I told him, why I do it. It's the passing show. It's a little bit of who, what, when, and where. It's raw journalism. It's primary documentation for research historians of the future, potentially. And it could be grabbed up as a body of work and worked over by all kinds of different tools that we've yet to develop. And who knows, So, my father was big into the whole computer assisted statistical analysis of historic records from the 18th century. And he used record books, um, ledgers and count books and wills and inventories of the people of the 18th century that he could lay hands on to sort of piece together a look at how York County, in particular in Virginia, was during the 18th century. Those records survived, and a lot of fragments, to look at. And it hadn't been gone over in detail consistently with a lot of attention to detail. And the York County project was my father's brainchild, and it came to fruition. And the research department really poured their energy into that during the 1970s, and it became a big deal. Ancestry Publishing is actually going to be taking all that information and making it available online, in addition to what's available online already from the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation. So, to betray such a loving heart, it's not the best speller. I don't hide it. That's fine. I don't know what you're trying to sad. Um, I don't know what is this about, but I'm reading Libra's comments, but I'm not really following. So, what else can I say about this stuff? 99%. I'll try to invite him one more time. Maybe we can get a little more of his walk in with us and see if that works. But if not, well, we'll see. What else? Yeah, so I wasn't really prepared to talk myself about this stuff, but it's important, I believe, to do the work. Bruno Batati was doing some work in Chile. There is an interview with Everyday Junglist about his work and who he is and such, and we could all go in there and listen to it and find out more about it. He may be out of money right now. It's not a lot of money in being a Chilean film producer, but that's a big deal actually to try to make a film. It takes an army to make a film. And here in the United States, there's a big film out right now Christopher Nolan did called The Odyssey. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm actually picking up some vibes that I might not enjoy it because there's some things in it that are kind of choices he made along the way, but I'll try to. I'll try to enjoy it without being too critical. But I am enjoying hearing what people are saying about it on Substack, and you can read up on it. We can filter it. It can all go all kinds of different directions. What else could we talk about here? I sound like I pretend to be someone I am not. Using certain words don't change your essence. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, Libra. But I'm not trying to be anybody. I'm not. I'm trying to be who I am, as I am, and doing the best I can with what I have. So, and also doing a lot of preservation of historical information, potentially for historians of the future, maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be for my own entertainment and it won't go any further. But I do get people tuning in, do have subscribers. Might lose subscribers as I talk about how we probably should get more people active out here. And yeah, I have no idea what makes it sound like we're pretending to be somebody we're not. I'm absolutely just who I am. Largely, I think I'm an imp inhabiting the animal that carries me around. And I've been doing this for a good bit of time, and I'll probably continue to do it, left foot in front of right foot, given the opportunity. So, how shall we go on from here? I've sent the other invite. I'm not sure we're going to get it, and we could wrap up pretty soon. This has been going on for about a half an hour and doesn't have a lot of detail in it beyond what we've talked about his desire to get some of his materials published. Everyday Junglist, Everyday Nonsense is his Substack. I highly recommend you all go out there and read it. And we just keep on keeping on, being the change we want to see in the world. And we do weave history as we go. The threads of our lives all make a tremendous tapestry. And we are responsible for the world we are co creating. I would like to see us all be good ancestors. That's another one of my major themes that I put a hammer on fairly often. I enjoy doing that. And I enjoy doing a lot of writing and talking about the kinds of topics that sort of inspire me. Um, Breathing, very important. Can't really keep the spirit and body together if I don't breathe. So, in taking one in, we can calm ourselves down and letting it out. We can smile and send a smile to the four corners of the universe. That's one of my favorite things that Wavy Gravy always says. He's the countercultural clown, now 90 years old, out in Laytonville, California. He's got the Camp Winter Rainbow going out there. And as he raises kids up through that kind of camp, they give him nostalgia for the future, he says. There's a film out there called Saint Misbehavin'. Actually, it's called the Wavy Gravy Movie, and the subtitle is Saint Misbehavin'. And I highly recommend people see it because it's worth the time to sort of tune in and figure out a little bit about what his life was about and how we can all contribute to a better world and the one in which we live now. We need to leave it for the future. And Inky's in the car.
Do you see? I guess
There's
the two
Lena.
dumb dogs. They both try to get in the front seat. Look how big. You guys
Yeah,
can't both
Lena's
fit the front seat. Look at them.
Who's driving? Can I
Yes,
have
I am.
Inky drive?
Yeah, you can't drive. No, thank you. He can.
Got a little
That'd be scary if you
split
drive.
in the armrest there. Yeah, dogs will do that. I noticed a little
Pretty
tear
smart.
in my seat. So we're in Tijuana, Mexico, by the way, when it's the Everyday Junglist on. I've been talking about some different things, and I don't know what
What's the fight? One of those things.
about, but there's a lot of stuff in the
Fight.
chat.
Was one of those things the fight, pal?
What's that?
Yes. Was one of those things the fight? One of those things you were talking about? Sorry.
What was?
Sorry, man. Was one of those things you were talking about the fight?
The fight?
The fight. Your favorite instrument, the fight. You know, the one you play.
Oh, the fife. No, I haven't been
Yes.
talking about the fife after this, but I am holding it up again. Yep.
All right.
Well, we talked a little bit about amplification of signal through the noise. The little thing I wrote about sound of marching feet. That was fun. But we're getting some feedback from Libra about you sound like you pretend to be somebody you're not. And then she says, or he says, using certain words don't change your essence. And I have no idea what that person's on about.
Sorry, what are you talking about? Are you talking about me? That does
I
happen
don't
to me.
know.
I do
I
that
don't
all
know
the
if
time.
they're talking about you or me, either one.
Oh, I do
It's
that all the
weird.
time. I use a lot of words that don't change my
I'd love
My
to be
essence is not
attack
that great.
people. Maybe we'll get Libra on as a guest. That would be kind of amusing. I'm getting a lot of hearts flying up right now, too. So Libra, either somebody likes what we're saying. So, anyhow.
I can't hear what you're saying. Unfortunately.
You can't hear what I'm saying?
Oh, not really very well. It's because I'm in the car, so I don't really know
Oh
what's being
yeah,
said. But
a lot of
I
road
think somebody's making
noise.
fun of me or something. Hopefully they're not
Yeah,
making fun of me, but that's okay if they are. I get made fun of all the time.
it's kind of like when I was on the train. I was having a hard time hearing you, and Bruno
Yeah.
Batati found us then. That was really fun.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Bruno and you have a video out, just one interview.
Yes. One. Yes.
We'll go
One.
look at that.
Barely scratched it.
I
It
haven't
barely scratched
actually
the surface.
listened to it, but I'm glad you guys got a
You should.
connection.
Yeah, you really should listen to it. It was pretty quite interesting. Like I said, we only got about halfway through his life, if even that. And his personal life is even more interesting than his professional life. But I don't want to be presumptuous to talk about that without him doing it. So I'm not going to tell you, not going to say anything about it. But it's
Well,
pretty
go ahead.
it's pretty interesting.
We'll
It's interesting. I'm
try to
trying.
get him
We'll
on.
see.
Yeah, he's not
He's
on
got an
now.
interesting life. No, he's not. It's too late for him. He's in Italy, so it's like 11. I don't know, 11 o'clock there or midnight there. So late. So I think.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
yeah. So yeah, it is tough to get on. I got on with Sue Cawthorn a couple of times lately. I don't know if you've caught those. We did a
I
lot
did
of,
see it. So is she the one that does the Reiki or something like that? Is that what?
yeah. She's got like this wild story about how she just suddenly felt a lot of joy, and then she had to write, and she wrote with her eyes closed, and she received a message from Mayor Baba in like the
Okay. I don't know who this Baba
1998.
person. I don't know who this Baba person is. This is some sort of hippie person that you. I see you write
Yeah,
about this guy a lot. I have no
well,
idea who it is.
well, you know Pete Townsend, right? This guy.
Yeah, I mean I've heard the name of course, the who or
Yeah,
whatever.
Pete Townsend is a Baba lover and has done a lot to amplify Baba's signal through the noise. But Baba, he dropped the body in 1969, and meaning he died. And since then, he's apparently been continuing to contact people and write through them, being channeled. I don't know, man. I just know how things seem to me, and it seems to me that channeling is like an act of creative imagination. And you've frozen again, so I think I've lost you. And I'll probably wrap up pretty soon if I don't get you back. Let's see if you disappear again. But it's really interesting stuff to me because I don't know, what I know. I just know how things seem to me, and I could be wrong. So I use maybe logic a lot. I hope that people will read my writings on harrowings. I've written a lot of posts. I try to write one daily and try to keep it out there for people to, bring into their minds. Maybe it'll make a difference. Maybe it won't. I was thinking about being a good ancestor lately. That's been really one of my major themes because honestly, we got to do better.
Hey,
I got you
you good?
back. I got you back.
In the house. I'm in the house, so that's why I have a signal now. So I have Wi-Fi, so it should be better.
More
Sorry
stable. I
about
can
that.
hear you too.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking
Sorry.
about being a good ancestor, for the generations coming after, even though I don't have kids.
Yeah. That's
And
okay.
that's what we want to do. Yeah, actually, I think it's a good
That's
idea.
okay.
I don't want to add more. It's like in Gnostic theory, we are being bound to the flesh, and that's like this is a product of the devil.
Yeah. I actually read an interesting thing about some Gnostic theory or about Gnosticism. That
Yeah,
there's some branches of Gnosticism that think that our world was actually created by a malevolent God or an
yeah,
indifferent
exactly.
God.
Or a
Let's put it that way.
ignorant God, an
Yes, which
ignorant.
I find fascinating to think about because I just
Yeah,
find that fascinating.
the
I don't know.
demiurge, and it thinks he's the top, but he's not.
Yeah, which means that we're like very much sub lower level, even lower level, which is
Do
just
you ever
interesting
see
to think about.
Time Bandits by any chance?
The movie Time Bandits, where the thing that
Yeah.
chomps a dude's nuts. Yeah, that's yes. I saw the previews for it, or maybe I saw the commercial. That's all I remember about it, or maybe it was the movie poster or something. But yeah, I've not seen the movie, but I know of it. I've heard of it. Why?
Basically, it's the idea is that there's a map and it has all the holes in time and space that the time bandits can go through, and they like raid Napoleon's treasures that he's gotten in the invasion of Moscow,
Mm-hmm.
and then they end up in Robin Hood's time when they're all distributed to the poor. John
Is it a
Cleese
comedy?
plays
It's a comedy,
Robin
right?
Hood.
It's a comedy,
Yeah,
correct?
John
Okay,
Cleese plays Robin Hood.
I see.
And it's got a lot of the Monty Python crew in it as
I
well. It
see.
was done by Handmade Films, which is George Harrison's. outfit,
Okay. Okay.
and it was great. I mean, it's basically all these guys were responsible for creating all the bushes and shrubs and things when the supreme being created the world. He had all these little dwarf guys doing all the grunt work, and then they stole the map from him. And yeah, you got to see it to believe it. And you're frozen again. I'm having a terrible time staying connected down to Tijuana from DC, but this is the way of the world, folks. Let's see, we're at 13 people have joined.
Am I back?
Oh, you're back.
I went into my office. Hi. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well,
Make sure
give
I have
me
a
the
stable
microphone a
signal.
little bit. I was talking about Gnosticism and the creator, and basically that it's kind of a botched job. He only had 7 days to work on it. 6 days, really. And seventh, he rested.
Speaking of religion, I've been reading the Bible recently because I'm doing this. I've honestly seen my listicle Bible project, any of those
I did
posts
see
that I've
that.
made,
Yeah.
where I'm transforming the Bible into listicles each book. I'm sorry if this is heretical to anybody, but I'm trying to make. I'm trying to republish the Bible as a listicle each book. So I'm looking through the various books. I don't even know half because it's been a very long time since I've looked at any of these. And actually reading some of them, it was just the stuff you read is just. I didn't realize how crazy it was actually. Some of the stuff I was looking for things that I remembered, like Jonah the whale and whatever. Like that everybody how Jonah got eaten by a fish and all this other stuff, which I totally misremembered that whole thing. It wasn't a whale. I
Well,
don't know where we got whale from. It was just a big fish.
yeah.
It says a giant fish. I don't know why they said a whale, but it turned into a whale somehow. But it was
Well,
not a whale.
George
So
Gershwin and Porgy and Bess. Yeah.
I
Actually,
don't know.
it turns it from a whale into a fish. It says, "Oh, Jonah he lived in a whale. Jonah he lived in a whale. He made his home in that fish's abdomen. Oh, Jonah he lived in a whale." Yeah.
Anyhow, so that's what I think. So I'm looking through this weird book, and there's like all these weird books I've heard of them, but barely. And like that one's really short, the Jonah one. There's a couple other ones that are real short too. That can't remember what the heck they were, but none of
Did
them are
you
very good
read
for listicles.
Elisha? Did you read about the
Not
prophet
yet.
Elisha?
I haven't done that. I'll try that next. Yeah,
Not
I was looking for one that
Elijah. It's
not
Elisha.
Elijah. Elisha. Is
Elisha.
it one of
And
is
he
it one of the
calls
normal
down a
books?
curse. Basically, these kids tease him about being bald, right?
Nice.
So he calls down a curse on them, and a she bear comes down
Is,
and eviscerates 42 of them.
is this in the Old Testament or the New? This is the New Old
Old
Testament, I
Testament.
assume.
It's Old
I
Testament.
assume
But it's
it's
like,
the tradition.
man, you do not screw around with Elisha. It's like, what? But it's amusing. I mean, I like to read Leviticus and all that stuff. All the stuff about Jubilee too. How you're supposed to like have this time we forgive all the debts when everybody goes back to square one, right? It's lovely. And I've lost him again, I think. We'll see if he gets a connection back again. But we'll probably
On that's your end, dude. This is not my end because I got a stable connection here.
I got a stable connection. I'm on the whole time.
What the heck?
Okay.
All right.
I
I'm
don't
blaming
know.
you for no reason.
You can blame me. It's all right. I don't care. That's one of the nice things about it. So, what else do you have to say? What else are you going to visit upon us besides the listicles from the Bible? Going once, going twice. We're going to have to wrap up. This is too unhealthy somehow. Mm-hmm. Nope. But go out and look at everyday nonsense. Oh, no. What's it called? It's nonsense. Intelligent nonsense. That's what it's called. And
Hey,
yeah,
Hal.
I'm trying to tell
Okay,
people to go to see intelligent nonsense.
you were absolutely butchering it. Yes, intelligent nonsense. Everyday junglist. That's correct. That's right. I think everyone. I was saying everyone's against me. The government's trying to censor me. That's why they're cutting off our signal here. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm almost
Right?
certain they have it against. They have it out for me. All those things I'm saying about something or other has really
Well,
pissed off
you know
someone.
where I live, right?
I know.
I mean,
In
NSA
DC.
basically has me under surveillance. I'm
I'm sure
certain.
they do. Yes, very important, man. They're very worried about you. Fomenting rebellion and whatever else you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do think we can control this world. We can get a handle on it, if we're just a little bit more awake and aware of what we're doing.
Yes, I hear that a lot too. Wake up. I say it to myself a lot.
But I'm a
Oh,
moron at some level.
yes, at most levels.
Right. I can say that.
Almost all levels.
But
Yeah,
now,
sorry about that. It's really shitty. That's really shitty, Hal. I'm sorry. I really didn't think. Usually, it's not that bad when I'm at the beach. Like I can get a signal down there. I mean, we've done them from there before, and
yeah,
usually it's not like
we've had good
constantly
times.
cutting out and all that shit. So I don't know what's going on today, but like I said, it's probably the government
Well,
trying
I've
to cut
had
me
fun
off.
with it, actually. Trump's going to be talking tonight about China, I understand, and the 2020 election.
Well, yeah,
Something's
I heard
going to
he's going
come
to
out
talk.
about
He's unveiling his new theory of how the elections were stolen.
big
Is what I've
stuff.
read here.
Yeah. Oh,
As I've read. As I've
I
read.
went down to the reflecting pool the other day for the first time. Did I tell you?
Yes. Yes. I heard.
Um,
Yeah. Was it a swamp like I heard? Is it like all nasty? Or they
Well,
fix it?
it was practically drained and it was
Okay.
fenced
Yeah.
off completely, so you couldn't get up to it. But you could see it very clearly from up by the Lincoln Memorial. And I walked the length of the place and walked down by the World War II Memorial on 17th Street. And right across from that, there's the grounds that go up to the Washington Monument. And they're doing something in the grounds there to try to make it better, I guess. But it smells like
All right.
manure. I mean,
Yeah, I
so
wouldn't count on
strong.
that. I wouldn't count on them trying to make it. You don't know what they're doing. It may not be trying to
Well,
make it better. I
he
mean,
knows grass. Trump knows grass
that's true.
all
He
the time
does.
on the golf course. But
Yes.
the problem is it's so much manure is being worked into the ground there. It smells really thick of manure. And I'm like, this is what the visitors to my country are getting for the 250th anniversary of this manure. I mean, maybe it's like truth in advertising, but really,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
awful.
the reflecting pool was in bad shape. I guess they drained it, which is probably good.
They trained it, and also the coating they put on it, they hadn't really properly prepared it, so it peeled off. And that blue American flag blue he tried to put underneath of it, and they were blaming vandals for it, but it wasn't
That's,
even.
I know. It was the Democrats. The Democrats did it. They went in, they also added the algae, and they also whatever else they did, killed the ducks. Poor ducks. Those ducks have probably been. Those families have probably been there for generations because that's been a really clean place,
There've been a
a safe
lot of
place,
ducks, yeah, and
and
they're
so
in
not
that.
anymore.
There's another pond very nearby where there are plenty of ducks, and the
Okay, so
ducks
they'll
aren't.
repopulate.
Ducks look fun. But I didn't see a lot of fish in there. I used to go down there and watch the herons come down and catch the fish, and
Are there fish in
walk
the
on
in the
the.
reflecting pool? There were fish.
No,
Usually.
not in the
Okay,
reflecting
I
pool
didn't think so.
itself that I noticed, but I have seen a lot in this little decorative pond where there's a monument to there's a little island that was set up during the bicentennial to the 56 signers. And it's a
I
much
see.
more sort of English garden pond, if you know what I mean. It
Hmm,
looks more natural, even though it's not. And it was part of Orsted's design, I believe. That I think that's the name of the architect, landscape architect, very famous. Did all the mall basically is like a winding paths and stuff, and they undid that for most of the mall. But there's that little section that still has that sort of feel to
Yeah,
it.
I've not been to DC in so
Nice
long.
trees.
I don't even know. I can't remember when I was there. As a kid, it was a very very long time. So I don't have no idea, no
Now, if you
conception of what it
come,
looks like.
I'll play tour guide. I'd be happy
I'll
to.
have to. I'd love to. I would love to come up there. It would be nice. I
If
can
I'm
honestly
not
I'd love to.
working, and actually, what's weird is I'm only working like 2 shifts this last 2 weeks. They cut
Is
me.
that because I was gonna say, why is that? They cut you back because they don't have business
Well,
coming in, or
I don't know so much. I think I mouthed off a little bit about,
you think?
and I probably shouldn't have. I like gave them
So you're being
feedback on
punished. You're
the
being
way I
punished.
do.
I love it. They put you on the.
That's the way I felt, but they assured me it wasn't the case because I had heard that it was a merit based thing when you got scheduled, and then suddenly I'm only scheduled for 7 hours a week. I was like, whoa! But it's kind of cool. I could work tomorrow, 7 hours, 9 to 4. And I get to see all these people come by, get their food and stuff. And I'm running into some interesting characters. I ran into the president of Phi Beta Kappa Society. What is that noise? We're looking at orange peel. Oh, you're speaking. That's you speaking. Can you hear yourself? Your voice is totally messed up. He dropped. But I can invite him one more time for good measure, see what happens. That was his microphone just really screwed up. Anyway, it was kind of funny. I was having a good time with that. I forgot what I was talking about. Probably the shifts and seeing people. I saw like I said, the president of Phi Beta Kappa Society stopped by, and I had a nice conversation with him about history and stuff, and the work I'm doing on the Harold B. Gill Foundation, which still is an LLC. It's a legitimate thing, and all my paid subscribers are by default members of my board of directors. The Everyday Junglist is on the board of directors. Eric Knudsen is the chairman because he has a founding level membership. Anybody can be a founding level member and be a chairman of the board, but I only have one. So that's why Eric Knudsen has that. I haven't really seen much of Eric lately. I've been going through and cleaning up things in my stacks here. I don't know. It could be he had to get back to work because I think I am taking him away from his work a little bit, but now he's in the office. Top to bottom, I picked up 2 subscribers while we were talking. Hey, great. 2 people subscribed to Everyday Junglist while we were talking. I'll just tell him, your microphone really sounded weird at the end. Okay. Electronic noise undecipherable. How do you spell decipherable? Decipherable. I'll end it now. Okay, so I'm going to end this broadcast. It's been really kind of a shit show. I think it kind of has been, but we do better other times. I'm going to have Jessica Alpha on, and we're going to be talking about horoscopes and things. I don't know a lot about this stuff, but I'm always interested. On your end, it might have been. He thinks it was on my end. It might have been weird. I think we're being jammed, but we'll find out. So we're going to wrap up here. And thanks to the Everyday Junglist for struggling through with us. So we'll talk back and forth a little bit. I sounded demonic elf. I sounded like a demonic elf, he says. I think it was both of us. We sounded like that to each other. I don't know what we sound like on the actual ending. So here we go. Ending the live video. Be the change you want to see in the world. Remember, every cent spent is a vote for the kind of world we are co-creating. And be a good ancestor. Bye.